Hey folks, we're here at the Biomerics Athens facility with two gentlemen that have been involved with the technology at this facility from the very beginning, and we're surrounded by all these patents and these early developments that Will Davies and Chris Richardson were involved with. Will, thanks for taking the time to talk. You've been involved in this balloon technology development at this site for many years. Share with us a little bit about the history.
Sure, be glad to. I joined the company in 2003, and at that time, the company was, I think, 10 years old, but had not really hit any kind of critical mass, and there wasn't a lot of balloon technology expertise in the company. There was a lot of inherent knowledge about how to make a balloon catheter, but not the balloons themselves. And so, interesting story. We actually started off, in 2003, we were making balloons manually. We had the strongest guy in the company sit out at a workstation with some tooling and some nitrogen and form balloons by hand. So needless to say, they were not very consistent and not what you would consider high performance. So right after I joined, we started looking at automated balloon systems and purchased one of the first 9608 balloon machines from a company called Interface. And it was light years ahead of, what we had been doing. And at that same time, there was some concept and some preliminary work on trying to reinforce the balloons to achieve higher pressure. We had gotten some information from one of our future customers that the burst pressures at that time for typical balloons were 20 atmospheres. And they found that there were calcifications and occlusions that you could not open at 20 atmospheres. So we pioneered the development of what we call the composite balloon, where we took a standard balloon and there was post-processing to add structure to the balloon itself in the form of, in this case, real high tenacity fiber technology. And with that technology, we developed some pretty significant intellectual property around that capability. So it was really the added value or the art of placing materials on a standard balloon.
Okay.
That was the art that was created. And to this day, we still sell through one of our large customers that balloon technology that was developed in 2003. And it's still the generations of that balloon is still the highest pressure and the lowest compliance balloon in the world. It's not even close. Most other balloon technologies for high pressure PTA purposes is 27 or 30 atmospheres. We have a balloon that's rated for 51 atmospheres.
Wow.
So more than double the burst pressure of that. So that's kind of the way that it evolved. We developed that technology, developed the IP around it, and have since, added different claims to that original concept.
Excellent. Thanks for sharing that. Well, it's Chris, transitioning to you. Were you that strong guy that was doing the balloons in the beginning?
No, I wasn't. So I pretty much I tell everyone before Biomerics, I was in high school. So I joined the company when I was 19. So it's been 20 years now. I'm literally dating myself, but I wasn't. I came along a couple of years after the initial innovation, right when we were starting to ramp and scale some of this production. I think initially our customer thought they would sell a couple hundred balloons a month. And now 20 years later, we're blow molding 20,000 balloons a week.
Wow.
So it's been an incredible ride.
That's amazing. Amazing history and legacy. Let's talk about what the future and the vision, what you're doing here. Talk a little bit about some of the technologies and the scalability and vertical integration.
Sure. So, the company here in Texas was called Future Matrix Interventional. we were acquired by Biomerics in June of 2018. So all of the management team decided to roll into Biomerics to continue the journey. And the strategy for Biomerics was for this site to be the vertically integrated balloon catheter center of excellence. And about 2/3 of the revenue for this site in Texas is either a balloon, a component for a balloon device, or some sort of catheter configuration with a dilation modality. In the history that Will talked about, we were focused on the very high performance, non-compliant end of the spectrum. So the original balloons were PET balloons that were fiber reinforced. So we had applications in the PTA angioplasty. We also developed a device where we knew it would be ideal for a percutaneous kidney stone removal. So it's still the leading product on the market for that indication as well. And then over the years, the balloon market has evolved. Catheter applications have evolved and changed as well, and we knew we needed to extend beyond this non-compliant and start to cover more of the compliance spectrum. So where we had reinforced PET, then raw PET balloons, stepped into nitinol balloons, then PBAX balloons, and ultimately urethane balloons, just kind of following that compliance spectrum along the way. Now, what Biomerics has always specialized in and what made us unique here in Texas, one, we're doing business in Texas. It's one of the lower overhead structures that you'll find in the medtech segment. And as we grew in volume, our Texas site does about $70 million in revenue annually now, and we're vertically integrated. So it made us fast from an innovation perspective, but it also has kept us quite competitive from a COGS perspective.